Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be as you find yourself falling under the sound of my voice. My name is Mother LaMia, and I'm here to answer the question of the month for July. And the question is as followed. Even though I'm open and out about my HIV status, do I always feel comfortable about being called out because of my HIV or as someone living with HIV? That is a pretty good question because for many years I did eternally struggle with the fact of one being HIV positive, and also if I was ever questioned, what would be my answer? I'm not in the habit of telling stories or lying. So from the beginning, I was always truthful if that conversation was to ever come up or if my status was ever to be questioned. I will let people know. It wasn't something that I broadcasted to the world to know at the beginning of my diagnosis, but it was something that from the beginning I kind of felt comfortable disclosing my status because I didn't want that bad juju, or I didn't want no one coming back years later and beating my hind parts because they found out that I was HIV positive and we have had a sexual encounter and I didn't tell them. So I was just scary on that end. As life progressed and I continued living my life, becoming undetectable, getting into advocacy, HIV advocacy to be specific, um, the burden or the fear slowly but surely completely dissipated. It went away. So by the time I got into advocacy work, me being called out because of my HIV didn't necessarily affect me. Even when people in the community would use my HIV status as a an area of hurt, trying to hurt me, it didn't hurt me because people that knew me, one, already knew my status, and two, because I took care of myself, they was like, it ain't no way. Because for a long time, because of stigma, people think HIV has a look. And fortunately enough for me, I was blessed to kind of not have that sick look or that HIV look or that AIDS look, sort of say. So if it was ever brought up in a community setting or someone trying to be hurtful or harmful to me and those that love me, I would just meet that pressure head on and be like, yes, I'm HIV positive and I'm also undetectable. And here's how you can remain negative. And if you ever do happen to be positive, this is some steps and some resources that that you can take and access. So even in today's time, being called out or having a part of my life being led by HIV, it still does not affect me because one, I know that I'm changing lives. And not only changing lives, but lives being saved by me speaking up around a subject that still to this day in certain areas, in certain populations of our society is very taboo. And education is not there. And so when joining the campaign, I had already made up in my mind that win, lose, or draw, no matter what, if I'm called out for HIV, I'm going to answer that call. If you come knocking at my door, I'm going to answer. And I kind of wear it as a badge of honor because I shouldn't be here. I know that may sound cliche, but being AIDS diagnosed twice and still living here 21 years later, that's a badge of honor. So there's no shame or there's no making me feel uncomfortable. If you call me out as this is Mother LaMia and she's HIV positive, or this is an HIV Starts With Me spokesmodel, that doesn't make me feel uncomfortable because I understand predetermined destiny and divine purpose, and I know that I have an assignment and that this work and me occupying this space is for a reason and it has purpose and it's a part of my journey. And so nothing that's a part of my journey makes me will ever make me feel uncomfortable. So yeah, it's a good question. Um, I wasn't always able to be here and speak up and articulate it as freely as I am today, but uncomfortable? Nah, never was uncomfortable. I love me and I love everything about me. And I'm just blessed and fortunate to have a support system, family and friends, and a network of resources that keeps me in the right mind and keeps me doing what I need to do so that I can remain positive and continue to share positive vibes. If you or anyone in your area is in need of HIV testing and or resources, please visit our website at www.hivstopswithme.org for a list of those resources and services available to you within the New York State area. As always, love yourself so that you can love someone else. Talk to you later. Happy Pride.